All right, welcome to the Overflow Mindset Group. Hopefully, you're experiencing overflow in your life, overflow of energy, overflow of happiness, overflow of opportunity, overflow of laughter, overflow of blessings. Hopefully, you're experiencing an overflow. All right, so we're going to pick up where we left off before, talking about Tesla. So, as we see, Tesla had a stock split, and the price is reduced to just under $300 at this point. So one of the things that we've seen is this pullback since the split, and we're expecting now we have the 50 and the 200 EMA daily EMAs meeting here. So we expect that to be a pretty strong support area, and then we'd be waiting to see if there will be a breakout, above like this trend line here, a counter trend line break to the upside. If not, we'll have to watch and see if it has more price action below the 50-day moving average and below the 200 if it were to go back into the water completely. But looking at everything, it looks like what we would hope for as the best scenario will be that we'll see some sort of bounce that would occur here. Again, we're looking for a trend line break as a signal that that bounce is actually going to occur. So we'll continue to watch this, and we'll have to maybe get updates on this. But as you see, mostly the price is between, I guess, the 300 to 400 and the $200 level based on this new pricing scale. But as you see, we've had resistance here at 300, support at 200, resistance at 400, somewhat support here at 300, falling back through 200 support, and now we're back at 300. So the price action is sort of ranging at this point, but there's plenty of opportunities that may present themselves during this particular time. So we'll just have to wait and have patience and to see what happens next. All right, we'll take a look at Blackrock. So Blackrock, as we mentioned before, the market was pretty much overdue really for decline. As we see here, the RSI was really high here, and when that happens, we generally would like to see a decline in the price, or we're likely to see a decline in the price. And that's across the entire market for the S&P 500, NASDAQ, or Russell 2000. This is really across the market where you have this type of thing happen. So as we see, BlackRock has pulled back to the 50-day moving average. So we will see if this holds as a support to continue the movement upward. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one as well. Ally. So just looking at Ally to see Ally Bank to see where they're sitting. So you pull back into this zone here where we see a lot of consolidation. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And the name of the game here really is patience. Now that we've experienced the pullback that we were expecting, we now need to see if the support that we expect to hold, which is really about the 50-day moving average and maybe the 200-day moving average, will they hold as support and continue to push the price higher? So that's what we're really looking for. So here we are with Apple. Everybody's saying, oh, Apple's going to fall and, that sort of thing. But Apple really almost made a complete recovery from the earlier decline. It got pretty close to these levels here. So if it does bounce off of this 200 or 50-day moving average, then we expect, much higher pricing for Apple. All right, AMC. So AMC has gone through a lot. As you know, we have the preferred shares of AMC, which is called APE, which was offered recently. So that is having some impact on the AMC shares. So we'll have to wait and see how this sort of pans out now that you have preferred shares and that sort of thing. So we have to determine what really is going on with this. AMD is not showing very much strength. We saw that we came out of the water based on the moving average push up here, but now we're starting to decline a bit. We'll have to watch the RSI to see when it gets down here and this level here to see if we find some support. So maybe we have a couple more days of decline, but we'll see what happens from there. All right, Amazon. Looking at Amazon, we're back at the 50-day moving average, so hopefully we'll show some support, and the 50-day moving average can support that moving right on up, back up to the top. DraftKings, same thing, 50-day moving average, expect that to sweep through. General Motors is just really holding on the 14-day moving average, so that's looking really good. Meta. So Meta is really in a strong downtrend for the most part. For the most part, it's really on a downtrend. So I would expect somewhat lower prices. Eventually, we expect some sort of turnaround because of this huge gap that's here. But at the current time, it seems to be moving in a downward fashion. Mullen as well, moving in a downward fashion. It is holding, or it hasn't broken this support level yet, so something to watch. Netflix is pushing up. Again, don't count Netflix out. There's two gaps here. There's a gap here, and there's a gap here. So for Netflix, we would expect that eventually price will close those gaps. So let's see. NIO. NIO is just sort of consolidating right here. We'll have to see if it regains the upward movement. NVIDIA is really sort of breaking down for the most part here. We'll have to see, it's not far from support levels. So maybe another couple days of downward motion, and then we should see some upward momentum. All right, PayPal, same thing, 50-day moving average. Looking for support there to carry it on up. Let's see, Roblox. So Roblox, 50-day moving average is a little bit below that right now, but we'd expect, especially with the RSI down here, we'd expect this to kind of start to push up some. So we'll watch that one. SOFI. Again, SOFI is a play where we were looking at different levels. So we're really at about the $6 level. But we're looking at the $4 level and the $2 level, because that will impact the potential to regain the previous highs. So again, at $4, it'll be a 500% gain. If it goes down to $2, it'll be 1100% gain. So something really to look after. Square is just floating here. Looks like more or less a consolidation. It's not very far from the lows we previously had. So maybe a day or so more of this, and then we should see some upward momentum. Upstart. Really in a downward trend. We will have to wait and see if it starts to show more positive movement. All right, so that will really kind of wrap it up as far as the overall market outlook. So thanks again, and Overflow.